Hello, positive-minded people. I was trying to crack my head, trying to think, taking myself back in the memory lane about how mankind has been in service, what it means to serve others. I was trying to reconstruct, look at how human beings, how people have served one another since times immemorial. In the genesis of service, mankind would be at the service of another person, an individual, through compassion. They would help somebody in trouble. Somebody who was a traveler would be given shelter free of charge because of the dangers that would face him or her if he proceeded. A hungry person would be given food for free just to try and save his life. There are a lot of examples I can give where people helped one another without any fee. Not very long ago, you have your car stuck in the mud, communities will gather, help you out, push the car out of the mud for free. Over time, things are changing. There was a time I was delivering a customer service training. I came across the word, what is in it for me? If you explore this word, if you analyze it, dissect it, you'll find that there's a continuum on which behavior is changing. Our culture is changing in terms of serving one another. I'm trying to say, as time is going, in the era we are, service has changed its meaning. Mostly from the continuum, the far end I was talking about, where people would serve one another for free, we have moved to where people were looking for payment, either through a salary or something, or any kind of being appreciated. But the most worrisome thing is we have crossed the middle line, we have crossed the middle point where somebody would work hard, not for free, but for an agreed sum of money, and work hard, give his all, and deliver. We have crossed that point. Where we are going and where we are is where you can be on a salary, but your interest, as in what we call what is in it for me, has exceeded just service to end that salary. You are looking for something that you have personally more than that salary. So, society has changed. I mean, society has taken a new turn which is very worrisome. Take, for example, a police officer manning a roadblock. there are security concerns that he has to address. But what do you see? You see the security officer standing there, only stopping cars that he thinks are making business on the road, like minibuses. The Bunda Road, you see bicycles carrying firewood, carrying charcoal, lorries carrying charcoal, firewood, and some other produce. They stop on those cars, on those vehicles. Not that they want to check their fitness, roadworthiness, no. It's because they're carrying something that is of economical value and they just demand a little something. For minibuses to pass, 300 kwacha, 400 kwacha is enough. No checks in terms of roadworthiness. Jeopardizing the lives of people, jeopardizing the lives of the passengers. You go to hospitals, you are sick. Somebody will create a crisis deliberately to make you desperate. And when they catch you into that desperation warp, they'll demand a little something. But during the delay, anything drastic can happen. The civil service. People work based on what is in it for me. The normal core functions would get ignored. People would jump from one meeting to another. People would jump from one conference to another, mostly donor funded. Why? They want to collect something that goes directly to their benefit, not to the benefit of the country. More often than not, people attend meetings without even writing a report. They go there, sit there, in fact, maybe not listening, not participating to what is happening, just be present, collect whatever they can collect, come back, that essential meeting, that essential information, no report whatsoever, something happens to them, the information, the knowledge is gone. They retire, the knowledge goes with them. No reports whatsoever. What is in it from me? We are not going anywhere. We are becoming selfish. What is in it for me? As a country, you are given a responsibility to run something. Say, you are giving out loans, like the NIF loans. What do people do? They go to the beneficiaries, negotiate what they can gain personally, maybe deprive the beneficiaries of the full benefit of what they can do, maybe in the business, to prosper, to succeed. Because if I'm looking for an amount to borrow, to start a business, and somebody comes and slashes a bit of that, then it won't be effective. I want to achieve my purpose. What is in it for me? Contracts. You are capable, you have all the skills, you have all the capacity, you compete on an equal footing with others, you succeed. You get the nod, but somebody stands on the door and say, we are not giving you this until you give me something. What is need for me? This culture is killing us. This culture is killing the development of our households, of our communities, of our organizations, as well as our country. What is in it for me? Look around you. Who in this era and age can save you without demanding a little something? Somebody is ready at the entrance. We've heard recently about the National Registration Bureau, where the employees create a crisis deliberately and have some middlemen who stand outside, and when they create that crisis, people become desperate, and each one of us would respond by looking around to say, what's the shortcut I can take? Then the shortcut is readily available through the middlemen. They come to you, collect the form, I'll do the rest of the thing, go sit there and wait, I'll come with a completed thing to you. And you give out money. Worrisome. You want to get a place, enrollment for your son, for your daughter, for your what? Into an educational institution. Somewhere, somehow, somebody is sitting there waiting for you to give him money. Apart from you paying the fees, apart from you footing the whole expense of educating your kid, there's somebody also outside there who is demanding an extra from you. This other time, I took some documents from one court to another. When I reached a high court with my documents from a lower court, I met people, very polite, apparently, soft. And I got asked to say, oh, how can we help you? Then I said, no, I want to register this document from the lower court to this court. I said, oh, so difficult. The person who handles that is not around. But anyway, I can find somebody who will help you. But he's a busy person. I don't know if he would do it. So he took me to another person. Unfortunately, I followed him very closely. He did not succeed to communicate what he told me to the other person. But people in the registry, in government, in the courts, are charging unsuspecting litigants extra money, more than, which does not exist. At one point in time, I was working as an internal auditor. There was a time when a certain insurance company was converting policies to shares. So I was working in the northern region, and in between this organization and its clients was stockbrokers. Then in Lilongwe and Blantyre, stockbrokers was available, but in the northern region it wasn't present. Then what happened was our clients were getting assisted to convert their policies into shares by staff of this insurance company. Now, what these insurance company employees did was to create some books. When the clients came, we were knowingly charged processing fees, an reasonable amount. Then the employees could collect the policies, merge the clients' fill forms, and when they did that, they told them, give us your account number, and we will try and negotiate a good price for your for your policy into shares. And what was happening mostly, most clients were not willing to have shares instead of their policies. So they were just cashing out whatever proceeds would come. Now, in doing this, the employees would say, when your check comes, give me your account number so that I can deposit in your account. So they would send the forms, the shares would be, the policies would be converted into shares, and then a check issued. But this check was not communicated to the client. The client, the employee would just go to a bank, the bank where the client had his account or her account, opened an account, a trust account, like they're opening an account of a minor, then deposited the check. When they deposited the check, if it was 15 million, they would cash out maybe 12 million, 11 million, and deposit it into the account whose account number was collected from the client. And from the client, you have a good amount for your policy, come and check your account at your bank. The client would check and find if there's 12 million, would go thanking the employee, maybe 300,000 as a thank you to say you've converted my policy into good money. At that time, 3 million is already gone. What is in it for me? We discovered this. I unearthed this. There was, I created kind of a situation. I had to be whisked away from the northern region. These people were after my head. So what am I trying to say? Sometimes the service that organizations are trying to render to people are destroyed. The image is destroyed by the employees, by the people who are supposed to render that service, through what is in it for me. So society is going into a dish. Unless we correct this, nothing will work. All these vices we're seeing around, it's because people have put in front what benefit they can get personally on top of what they're being paid, and nothing will work out. We are building substandard roads. We are building substandard structures, schools, hospitals. Why? Because maybe just half the allocated amount goes to the actual work, and the other half is shared by people who feel they need to benefit something on top of being employed. People, let's be positive. In the past, this never happened. But now, when somebody gets employed, apart from his salary, maybe he wants to get threefold on top of his salary. If that doesn't happen, then they're not working. Unfortunately, there's collaboration in this. There's collusion. It's not only a certain level that is doing it. It's from bottom to top. The topmost bosses are participating in it, therefore making it difficult for anybody to care about it. Imagine a whole setup, a whole governance structure full of executives as risk takers. Then you have risk managers. Then you have auditors. All these people failing to care about this vice. It means the risk takers, the people in the executive collude with the auditors. They collude with all other stakeholders. Then, who is suffering? The investor, the owner of the business, the shareholder. Who is suffering? The customer, the person who is intended to receive value, receives substandard service. A substandard service because most of the resources that would have been put into adding value to the end product are shared by individuals, selfish individuals, self-enriching individuals. Unless we stop pursuing this, what is in it for me? Let's have skills, let's have knowledge, let's have a space, identify a space to contribute, earn money legitimately. Not the siphoning we're seeing around anywhere, everywhere. ESCOM, we've bought wrong materials. Somebody imposed them on us. The one who was receiving, they knew the specifications. Why did they receive? What is in it for me? The contractors, the roads they're building. You can't afford the contractor. Somebody in procurement demanded something out of the money that would be paid to the contractor. And the contractor has no other option but to use the resources. But because the queue is coming from the somebody in procurement, the contractor will know that even that assessment will not be done properly. The person who would come to assess that road would just demand a kickback, and approve, issue a certificate. So we're not going anywhere. Simple. You go into a barber shop, they charge you 2,000 kwacha for a haircut. You pay, you have 4,000 kwacha. The person who is working on you would say, apart from the 2,000 kwacha, and I'm angry. You understand? You go into a restaurant, you buy food. When you're paying, somebody says, can I have one for kuche? What's that? We're ruining the personal experiences at the point of serving people. We are creating some unpleasant encounters with the people we are serving. Patients, passengers, name them. We are not going anywhere because of this culture of what is in it for me. Positive-minded people, let's change our ways. Let's be contented with what we can legitimately have. What we can legitimately contribute to our household, to our society, and to our country. Let's not jump around trying to fight for resources, fight for spaces, just because we're looking for something that should benefit us personally. In offices, people don't cooperate, not because they don't have skills, but because they're fighting for spaces where they can accumulate personal benefit. I've worked in so many offices. I can't single out any where ethics are upheld. It's people fighting for personal benefits. Sometimes the most competent people are pushed aside. The most upright people, those people who won't work according to the code of conduct, they're pushed aside. You'll find somebody very powerful collecting some money on behalf of the institution where there's a fully fledged accounts department. But because they can't be questioned, because they can't be reprimanded, it goes on. What if their subordinate starts doing the same thing? Can they talk to them? Can they reprimand them? So we have created a whole circus, a whole kind of a cancer which can't be cured. Because the person who is supposed to correct things, to control things, is also involved. You send your junior, go do this for me, a high amount. Your junior will also go on his own to demand a less account, even if you know you will not reprimand that junior. Good people, positive-minded people, let's change our ways. Let's serve others with compassion. Let's serve others because they need that service. If we feel it's all about money, it's all about personal trappings that I'm looking for, then find another space. I get worried very much, more especially when this is happening in the public service, where you see hospitals in dilapidated states. But the person who sits in that hospital, an administrator, behind a dilapidated desk, has a 2-story house somewhere. Very good house. Solid. You work in a shack, but sleep in a mansion. What does it tell you? The money meant for the office went to build the house. Enjoy your day. God bless you.